What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Love and Rice Podcast with your host, Aunt Ma.
I'm your other host, Christina.
And on today's episode, if you guys have not followed us yet, you guys got to, all right? We are on all podcast platforms. That includes YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio. We're also on Instagram and TikTok. Yes, TikTok is staying for now.
It went away for what, like
12 hours?
12 hours?
I don't know, something like that.
That's interesting.
But it is back. So take advantage and follow us on TikTok as well. All right, guys. Yesterday was Lunar New Year's. Woo!
Or Chinese New Year.
Yep.
Right?
Happy Lunar New Year, everybody. We are in the year of the snake. Do you know what that means?
No.
Well, that's why we're doing this episode. All right.
Educate me, please.
All right, guys. If you guys aren't familiar with the Lunar New Year, all right, there are 12 animals in the lunar, I guess, zodiac is what they say, right? And every 12 years they repeat. And this year is the year of the snake. And so for everyone that's listening, we want to share with you guys what we can expect in terms of good luck for this year. And, also the bad things and what we can try and avoid this year. So this is going to be a very informational podcast where it can actually help a lot of us because we will obviously everyone wants to be successful. They want prosperity. They want to have good luck, right?
And that's the whole point of the new year too. And if some of you don't know what the zodiac signs are, it's kind of very similar to like the horoscope, right? So there's animals that
Is there 12 in the horoscope too?
Yeah, you.
I don't know. Don't answer. We don't need to Google that right now. All right. So first off, the most compatible people with snakes are the ox, the rooster, and the monkey. All right. And then the ones that are most incompatible with snakes, you want to stay away from the snakes, is people who are born in the year of the pig.
Oh.
All right. So y'all got to be careful. And also, this is how we know if someone was born in the year of the snake is if they were born in 1953, 1965, 77, 89, 2001, 2013. If someone was born in 2001, how old are they right now? 24?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're in 2025 right now.
In 2001. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. So the only animal that doesn't get along with the snake was the pig.
Yes, that's what it says.
What is the year for can we let people know what the year is for the pig animal people? That came off so weird.
All right, so that would be in the year 1959, 71, 83, 95, 2007, 2019, and wow, it says 2031. We're not even there to
I know.
2031.
We're so far away. So if you're born in those years, you are the year of the pig. Stay away from anyone that is the year of the snake.
Yeah. So I pulled up a bunch of stuff on Google, and it says, in general, people are more cautious during a snake year. And I do remember snake is a little bit difficult. Usually it's not so great, Our feng shui guy told us that, but for some reason a snake for me, for that particular year, he did feng shui for our house. Mm-hmm. He said it was good for us, but it's interesting. All right, let's get down to the good stuff. This is the year of development, reflection, and perfection. What does that all mean? We'll get to all that. But this year has chances to develop both professionally and personally while creating deep connections because of its emphasis on relationships and transformation. So it will also be a profitable and peaceful year if we do things right. Okay. So we're all trying to do things right, but we want to avoid certain things so it doesn't go opposite, right?
Yeah, and for the longest time, I thought that whatever animal it was for that year, that it would be good luck for that animal. But then I've learned that if it's your year, it's technically bad luck for you, right?
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to be more careful and cautious when it is the year of your animal.
I thought it was good luck.
No, it's the opposite.
Are you sure?
That's what I've been told. Yeah.
All right. Well, the snake everybody's got to be cautious in the year of the snake. All right. We do have the chance to be really, really good and have a lot of growth, but we got to be very cautious. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about here. All right. So if I go more in depth, it says 2025 is a year of self-discovery, personal development, and breaking old patterns or behaviors as a snake is the ruling zodiac sign of the year 2025. Yes. Um, it will be a great time to start new projects, reassess priorities, or make calculated career decisions,
Mm.
right? Um, so it says it's also a good time to invest in long term objectives or pick up new talents. Well, that's pretty good because this year we are trying to get some long term rentals, right?
Right.
Buying some investment homes. Or, I don't know, are you trying to do something new with some new talents this year?
I mean, I feel like 2025 is just the year for like transformation. So it's kind of like when the snake like sheds their skin or something. So
Yes,
it's like coming out with a new identity or trying something new and
that's
being different.
exactly what it resembles.
Yeah.
And that's what they talk about here in the article that I pulled up. Or, well, it's actually the next line, and it says snake is renowned for losing its skin, which represents metamorphosis and rebirth. And they are renowned
Mm.
for their intelligence and methodical approach. So this year promotes meticulous preparation and deliberate choice making. It inspires awareness of environmental sustainability and green activities by connecting with nature and growth.
Hmm. So it's kind of telling you to, because I feel like for the longest time, people have just been winging it and trying to just go with the flow and stuff. But it's saying for this year to start focusing on the things that you really want to do and also trying to stay grounded and
Yep.
also making conscious choices.
I think this is where a lot of people don't remember when they think about going with the flow of things. Like, that's always great, right? But within going with the flow, you still need a plan to make sure you execute your flow properly, right?
Hmm.
So it's like going with the flow means that if you're picking up new talents this year, we can figure out a couple different talents, right? But now you need a plan to go towards that goal, like figuring out who to find and research, things you need to do to get there, classes or whatever it is to sharpen your skills or learn those things, right? So like you can't just really essentially quote unquote go with the flow. Like there has to be a plan of action.
Yeah, and I feel like this is something that we recently talked about too, because I know in more recent years, like there are a lot of people who are talking about like manifestations
Mm-hmm.
and writing things down and setting goals, but then they kind of forget to remind you that you should be doing it more often and making sure that you're also doing things to align with it. And I know that was something that you're trying to teach me about because a lot of people are just like, okay, well, this manifestation coach said to just write it down whatever I want to do, and then like in a year or 5 years or 10 years, it's just gonna happen
Yeah, it
magically.
doesn't just happen, guys. So like you always have to have those plans of like if you have your 1 year goal and your 5 year and your 10 year goals, or these new talents or new careers you're trying to get to, you have to plan for that, right? So for
Hmm.
example, when we knew that we were moving to Vegas, right? I had my real estate license in LA, and before moving to Vegas, I was like, if we move there, I need to find some sort of financial stability. So prior to even looking for a house, I already started um, trying to get my real estate license in Las Vegas
Hmm.
just to prepare for that. I started taking the classes, right? Calling around for those classes, and then taking crash courses to make sure I can pass the test. And once I did that, I was like, okay, now I know we can move to Vegas, right? Like
Yeah.
there's, so it's like I can always put on my manifest letter like I want to be a realtor, I want to make this much money and sell this many houses and things like that. But you still need the actions of like, okay, in Q1, I'm gonna take those classes, right? And in the first month of that Q1, I'm gonna look on Yelp top 10 schools to go to, right? Like, so you need that plan of action for everything that you do. It just doesn't happen, you know?
Yep.
So that's very important, guys. So, being the year of the snake, you definitely want to make sure you follow everything with intention. Okay. It also says that in this year, people might be more motivated to support environmentally friendly initiatives and strive to protect natural resources. Okay, I kind of see where that's going with the LA fires,
Hmm.
right?
Mm.
Like trying to protect the environment with that. Yeah, everyone's trying to put out fires nonstop. Um, there is the snake's energy this year is warmth and compassion. And over this year, it'll be great to maintain the romantic relationships. making new acquaintances, and looking for serious relationships. So those who are looking forward to marrying their partner, this year will be great for the couples. And there are great chances for the single ones who are eagerly want to get into a new relationship. So
Mm.
um, that's a lot, guys. This
Yeah.
might be the year you're gonna start a whole family.
But it's not going to just happen unless you set your
Right.
intentions.
So what do they have to do? So they got to go to the club, right? They got to go on the VIP list, right? They got to make a lot of money so they can buy some tables so all the girls go to their table, right? And then they're going to find their wife.
I don't think it works like that.
Uh,
Yeah.
so what did they do
Yeah,
then?
no. I don't I mean, not go to the club anymore. I was trying to follow along with you in the beginning, and I was picturing it, and then I was like, wait, no, this is going the opposite way.
No, I was just kidding. No, but on the real, it's like, what's the best way for someone to find a romantic relationship?
I think people just need to be mentally ready, right? Like,
Mm.
you have to build yourself, your character, your career, make sure you're more established, and just make sure that you're stable enough altogether before you try to look for a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have all of that together and then you try to meet someone who's like ready to take it to the next level, like you're not going to be ready for it, and then you're going to end up breaking this person's heart, and it's kind
Yeah.
of like, you're not ready for it.
One of the things that I think is really cool for this year is because of the year of the snake and how you get to shed your skin and kind of restart, reset, or do things over. You can be this new person. You can change your mentality, your attitude. You can do whatever you want this year because you're shedding this new skin,
Mhm.
right? And it's kind of like this rebirth. So, if you've been in some bad relationships, this is the year to find new ones, right? If you're an asshole before, you can now be a better person.
Yeah,
Or
stop being an asshole.
if you
Like,
if you were if you were a scared person before, this is the year for you to start being brave, right? Changing
yeah.
things up.
I feel like you're talking about all of this stuff, and then you know how celebrities were always like praised for just like, I don't know, they're treated like gods and goddesses and stuff, and then
Mhm.
um they always had like the limelight shining on them, and then a lot of people were actually saying, although they're not Chinese, like they're just like, oh, this year is kind of like the downfall of all of the people who are not the best people that are out there.
What?
Yeah, because there's all these things that are coming out. You see all these celebrities going down, and you are starting to hear about all the stories and bad shit that they did in the past and how they're going down for it and they're in jail. And
What are you talking about?
well, I mean, some things I don't want to talk about because, like, I don't want to be a target for anything.
What, like
but
Diddy? You talking about Diddy?
yeah,
What does that have to do with the year of the snake, though?
well, I was just
And
saying,
that
no,
happened last year.
yeah. So, like, because you're saying, like, if you were an asshole, now it's time to be a better person because
Mhm.
all of these people, they've been like snaky people. They've been super shady. They've done a lot of bad
think-
stuff.
That's a different level of bad. You know what I mean? Like that stuff, if you change to be good, I don't think you're still going to have all that karma come to you. It's not
True.
going to change you. You're still going to jail if you did something bad. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can't just be good.
But they're saying now that all of this like stuff that you've done in the past, all that bad karma is coming back to them. And this, like in more recent years and this year too, it's all starting to come out for people. Like, for example, there's this whole crazy ordeal with like Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, right? For that movie, It Ends With Us. And I used to love her and I would watch her stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, like she's an amazing actress. She seems like a cool person. And then you start hearing all of these things that are coming out, and now like these people have been able to hide their identity and try to make it seem like they're so good that now it's just all coming out. So
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I have no idea how we got to celebrity gossip here. And
I'm just saying because like people think that they can be bad people for so long and they can play this like facade of who they want people to think that they are, but eventually like the truth is just going to come out, and that's just basically what I'm saying is like you have the choice to be a better person, but some people, just
so what's the advice you have for everybody who's a bad person?
just don't be an asshole. Like, yeah.
Don't be an asshole, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what if they said, damn, I was an asshole. What do I do?
Well, I mean, some people change. Like, I've had my asshole years before, and I wasn't like,
What?
I mean, I it's because of the way that I grew up. Like I had people picking on me and bullying me and trying to like get
Yeah,
into fights
okay.
with me and stuff.
Yeah, I
So
have that phase
yeah, you know
too.
what I mean? So then you end up becoming like that too because you're
Mm-hmm.
guarded, you're trying to defend yourself. But then if that's not who you really are, like you kind of you'll see those actions and you're like, "Ugh, like that's just not me. Like I
Yeah.
just don't want to be that person, you know?"
There was this phase where I was getting bullied all the time, and I would get in fights and I would actually beat the bullies to the point where I had so much confidence that now I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna start picking fights with everyone else
See,
too. You know what I
that's
mean?
stupid.
And like, it, I don't
That's
know.
stupid.
It's just yeah. Now when you look back, you think about how dumb those things are.
Yeah, and some
But
people just don't grow out of that too, or they're just
right,
like a bully, not physically, but like they just, like have
yeah.
bad intentions.
So I guess that's why for this year, guys, we need to be more cautious and be more aware of what's going on and the way we're acting and doing because I feel like that's even every year. You know what I mean? It's just we need better people and better awareness. We have to remember that we're here to help each other. That's what we're here for, right? To do some good in the world. So the year of the snake is a chance for you guys to redo everything, you know? Um, so there's some other things that I want to talk about here. It says, okay, well, I have a question for you that I wrote down. It says, when you think of shedding your skin and rebirth, what is something that comes to mind for you this year?
I mean, I've talked about it before, but I think it's just starting to just I keep seeing this every year and then I end up not doing it because
But
I'm
this
always
is the
like focused
year.
on it. Yeah. So, but I keep focusing on everything else, right? But this year, like really though, like I'm just going to really focus on myself and just do things that I'm not comfortable with. And like just this year we just started I don't even know if we talked about this before, but we started to take jujitsu classes.
Yep.
And that was something that I've always wanted to do. And I would see the kids do it. I'm like, oh, cool, but that could never be me because like I'm too old now. I'm gonna get hurt. Like I don't want to do it,
Yep.
right? But then you started it first,
Yep.
and when I saw you do it, I was like, okay, cool. Like it seems doable. Like he's not hurt yet, maybe a little bit,
Well, my
and
chest hurts. It's been like 3 weeks and my chest is killing me still.
yeah, I mean, I'm okay, but yeah, like we started doing that. I didn't think it would happen because I was just so afraid, and that's always the case. Like whenever I want to do something, I get afraid of like getting hurt or of how people are gonna see me.
See, this is where you guys have to really shed that skin and think differently this year. When you guys think, okay, I want to start something new like jujitsu, like Christina said, right? She's like, I don't want to get hurt. Well, who's to say you are going to get hurt? You could actually think, I'm not going to get hurt and I'm going to learn how to hurt people.
Yeah,
Right? This is for
that's
self
true.
defense. So, like, the mindset is got to be totally different here,
Yeah, because for the longest time I was like, maybe one day I'll do it, and then I'll see people coming in, and then they're like the other parents, and they'll come with their fingers wrapped, or
Yeah.
like because they sprained it, or something happened, and then I just be like, oh no, I'm good. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle it.
Here's something that happened this weekend. We had the kids had a jujitsu tournament this weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and Enzo was like, I don't know if I want to do a tournament. I'm gonna lose. I can't do this. And I'm like, Enzo, but what if you win? What if you can do it? What if you can choke someone out and you win?
Yep.
What if you win by getting some points by doing some certain positions that you're supposed to do, And he was like, oh yeah, okay. Right. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
we always default to the negative thinking when like anything is possible in the positive way,
Yeah,
right?
and I think it's just the fear. Like people always get nervous about stuff, and they're like, well, what if this happens? What if that happens?
And that's why this year you're gonna see a lot of Kobe Bryant quotes
Mm,
because as the Mamba mentality, they try to say like the year of the snake, and what he says was the fear is in yourself, right? It's not quote to quote here, but he was basically saying that the fear comes only from you because only you think about the fear,
right.
So if you don't think about it, it's the battle is with yourself. That's the hardest part, is what he said.
Yep.
So you have to overcome those battles in your head because no one else is thinking like that. I think when people watch you do jiu-jitsu, and you've only done it a few times, they're thinking, wow, she's a badass. And then in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get smashed. Oh my
I'm actually
gosh.
not thinking that when we're
Oh, okay.
practicing. Yeah, because we've been able to practice with each other.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because when we're practicing, I'm like, hell yeah, let me go, let me do what I gotta do, right? Like I actually get pumped up. But then when I go with other girls, I'm just like, oh no. Like I try to be more gentle because like I think there was this one move where you had to like grab my lapel and you're putting your fist into my chest, and I was like, damn, my boobs hurt. Like that's a lot of weight and
Yeah.
pressure. So when I'm doing it to the other girls, I'm like, oh, be careful. Like, don't
I
hurt
know
yourself.
that's like when we have to go like a three-way with partners and take turns, and you're like, okay, you tell me, and you're like, okay, it's your turn to go with her, and I'm like, no, I'm not putting my hand on her boobs in front of my wife.
But
Like,
but it's different. It's not like you're like this. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I just don't want to. No, I'm uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we've done it. So, like,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Same to you.
We're gonna be doing jujitsu tonight.
I know.
You know?
And with the kids. And I think that was another cool thing too, because got more motivated after seeing us doing it, because they're like, when are you guys gonna do it? I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
The kids watch us from the side and they're jumping up and down. Like,
Yeah.
they love it. Especially when we're getting taught submission moves and we got to practice it on someone. They're thinking that we're going live and really hurting someone. So they're jumping up and down like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think it's so cool too, because with Leia being in jiu-jitsu, like not too many girls do jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
And her going into these tournaments, I always think about it in the back of my head, because I'm like, she's always going against boys. Like she never goes against girls, because it's just so rare. And I always try to remind her, I'm like, hey, do you know how badass you are? First of all, training in jiu-jitsu as a girl, going into these competitions knowing you're going against boys, and being fearless and still doing your best, and I just have to remind her, like, keep doing it.
I think that's one thing we have to reiterate to her this year is how powerful she is as a girl going into this sport.
Yep.
Every single tournament has been against boys, and she cries every time she loses, which is a lot. And we just have to give her that confidence. That's the biggest thing, is the confidence. So we got to remember that as parents, to teach her that, because that translates to, as she becomes a teenager and a young adult, that she always has confidence in herself.
Yep. And just knowing that, like, she's gonna be that rare gem that can do all these things, and she'll be able to take out the boys one day. It's just,
I mean, she has to some.
yeah, she has, right? But yeah, just knowing that she's at a disadvantage, and that she's still kicking ass. I don't know. And I think her seeing her mom doing it too, like, that's probably more motivation for her. So when I go in to practice, I'm like, hey, our kids are watching us. We got to do our best and show them that we're strong too.
Yeah. All right. So let's start helping out the people who are born in the year of the snake, since it's this year. All right. There's a lot of you out there. And so listen up. If you are born in the year of the snake, it says you guys should avoid high risk investments. Okay. Overly stressful jobs and unhealthy relationships. You need to avoid all those. Okay. This should also be mindful of burnouts and maintain a healthy lifestyle. So this is going to be a very difficult year for you guys if you are the year of the snake. Okay. If you're not born in the year of the snake, this is not for you, but you do have to be a little bit cautious.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, for the year, if you're in your own year, you have to be extra cautious of stuff. You would think like, oh my gosh, it's my year. I get to do whatever I want and everything's just going to come to me.
I mean, there's going to be some really good luck stuff too, though.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You just got to find it.
But you have to work harder for it to happen for your year.
So it's saying, in terms of careers, for the snakes, you guys got to avoid jobs that are too stressful or require too much social interaction. Be careful of career disrupting villains.
Ooh.
Maintain good relationships with colleagues. Avoid making hasty decisions. For your finances, like I said, it was avoid high-risk investments. Control spending. Start a side business. And choose medium and long-term low-risk investments. So you see, it says for you to start a side business in the year of the snake.
But to be conservative.
Right? In the relationships, be calm when dealing with relationship matters, right? Clear communication can prevent misunderstandings. Unhealthy relationships may be caused by arguments with a partner or by entering into an unhappy relationship with someone who is not very nice. So, these are all your red flags for you to avoid bad relationships this year. All right. And for your health, you have to be mindful of burnouts, right? Don't do too much. Pay attention to your health, your nervous system, and the muscles. Be careful with your diets. Avoid processed foods. And it says here wow, this is so this is crazy right here. It says pay special attention to health in February, April, September, and October. That's
That's very
crazy.
specific.
Like, what does that even mean?
I have
You know,
I don't know.
snakes. Y'all gotta be careful. All right. Um, but here are the pros for the year of the snake. People who are born in that year, they have wisdom and intelligence. You guys are believed to be deep thinkers. You are resourceful. You guys are often seen as insightful and good at analyzing situations before making decisions.
This sounds just like the horoscope, right? The way that they talk
Yeah,
about the
I mean
characteristics.
that's what it is. Do we know anyone who's the year of the snake?
What are the more recent years again?
Um,
I
to
I think it
2001,
was it 2001 or
and then
89?
12 years before 2001.
Oh, I don't think I know of any snakes. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. Then we have, let's see, snakes are associated with charm and sophistication, often drawing others towards them. Their reserved demeanor can be alluring and mysterious, and they do have a lot of determination, known for the persistence and focus, often achieving their goals through careful planning and hard work, and they're able to adapt.
I have a question for you
Yep.
because I always talk about the horoscope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of our signs depending on what year we're all born, right? And then whenever I say you're like, yeah, 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 I don't like believe into all of that stuff. But then when it comes to the Chinese zodiac, like you believe it, right?
I believe it more. Yeah.
Yeah. And why is that? Because this
Um,
is all determined by the year that you're born and the time of year that you're born into as well.
I think because I've seen a lot more spiritual stuff in our culture, right? Um, I've had people tell me things that no one else knew about, right? Who is within
Mm.
our culture. They say, do this, don't do that, and these things actually come true, or the things they say is, I don't know. It's just I believe in art from our culture more than
Okay.
outside my culture,
So there's
right?
more of a direct
There's
tie into it and
Right. I mean,
commitment.
because my religion is like Confucius, right? So I believe in our
Okay.
stuff more.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Um, I think it's like more of the Western philosophy of the horoscopes, Leos and things, Aquarius and whatever. Those are all talking about when the stars align and things like that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the
With the
universe,
universe,
which
yeah.
I believe in that too, but in the Chinese culture, it goes down to like the day you were born to the time you were born, and those all have specific meanings and there's calculations in those. You know what I mean? So it goes down to the T, and I
Mm.
think that's why I have more of a. It's got that scientific in with it as well.
I feel like it's like that with the horoscope as well. And then they have like um the like moon rising signs and sunrise
Yep.
and all of those too. So I think it's more of like what you're more knowledgeable about, and that's
Yeah.
probably why you're more connected to it.
All right. So now we can talk about the cons for the snake people in the year of the snake. All right. Overthinking and suspicion. Snakes can be prone to overanalyzing situations and may struggle with trust issues. Guys, that might just be a trick. All right. Um, their cautious nature can sometimes be perceived as paranoia or hesitation. So I don't think you guys gotta bring yourself back down and think, am I overthinking right now? Am I overanalyzing? What was that?
It was
Why'd you hit me with a snake foot?
just I don't
What was
know.
that? Why is Hello Kitty hitting me with a snake foot?
I'm not sure. But look, I
Um,
also wore green for good luck, for money. Green is supposed to represent money. Red is supposed to represent good luck and
Mm-hmm.
prosperity.
Yeah, I'm just wearing my lion dance hoodie.
That's probably why you're more connected to the Chinese zodiac too, because like you did lion dance for a really long time.
Yeah, like 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So you're more informed about it.
Um, Snakes can also have a lot of jealousy and possessiveness.
Mm.
All right, particularly in relationships, which can lead to conflict. Oh. All right, here's something. Whether okay, people are listening. If you're the year of snake, you are jealous, right? You can be possessive. Now, everyone who's in a relationship with a snake,
Is it true?
yeah,
I'm like, is it
yeah,
true?
you guys got to be careful out there. All right,
Huh.
your partner is a little bit of a red flag. Um, Snakes are also often private, difficult to open up to others, which may hinder the relationship. So, you also have to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're a snake. That's why they don't open up to you.
Mm.
So, and here's a bad one. In pursuit of their goals, snakes may occasionally use cunning or manipulative tactics, which could strain trust with others. So they have a tendency
Ooh.
to manipulate. Um, this is why, you know, everybody's got to be cautious this year, right? We can do business, we can have new careers, but snake people,
That's interesting, right?
stay away.
Because when
Stay
stuff
away from
happens,
snake
people are always
people.
like, "Oh, stay away from that person because they're a snake."
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I don't believe it to that
right, I'm
extent.
like, dang, it's making snakes people that were born in the year the snake field seem really bad. But we don't think
It's
all of you guys are like that.
no, no,
There's
no.
just
I don't believe it to that extent. I would be more cautious though. So like if someone was to propose a business plan to me and they are year of the snake, I'd be like, all right, I got to look at all the angles of the finances and the plans here to make sure that everything works out. And if everything checks out, cool. Let's keep going, right? So,
Mhm.
um, I don't know. I think everything's all good. You just gotta be cautious, right?
Mhm. I think no matter what, whatever year it falls into, like there's always going to be like pros and cons of stuff. So whatever year
You
it's going to
know,
be, even if it's my year, it's going to say all this like bad stuff about me too.
the funniest thing is that everyone in the beginning of the year is always so cautious about the things that are benefiting them and things to avoid, right? They do it for the next like month or two.
Yeah.
And after that, everyone forgets for the rest of the year, right?
It's just like the new year for everyone, right? Everyone sets their goals for their new year's resolutions, and
Yeah.
then after a few months, like a lot of people end up dropping off because life happens and people get busy.
Well, I'm talking about just like, things that you understand that benefits you and that you should avoid. Those things we tend to forget because when we're on the path to our new journey of the year, we surpass all that to where it doesn't really matter anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah,
why we forget those little things at the end of the day.
true. Or I think people are like, okay, well, I set this quick goal, short term. I got this done,
Yeah.
and then what else? Right?
Yeah.
They just move on.
So, what's your take from the good and bads of this year for you as the general person when you're not the year of the snake?
I mean, what I took from it was that you just need to do stuff to transform your way of living right now, but also being very cautious about it and being more mindful and yeah,
So, doing something new,
yeah, doing
right?
something new.
That's a good one.
Yeah, rebirth is
Um,
always a huge thing for me too.
I
Every
think
year.
I think for me it was there are advantages of having really good investments this year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Long term, low hanging fruit investments. So keep your eyes open for those, and
Stay away from snakes.
yeah, and then just be mindful um, of things, right? You just can't always think, wow, I got a new business that I want to do, and then not think about all the things that can happen too, right? We have offense and defense that we gotta play. It's not just always all offense. So don't forget that, guys. All right. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Lunar New Year. All right. Happy New Year, guys. I hope you guys made a lot of money with the red envelopes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys have transitioned into the ones giving envelopes, I hope you're not going broke.
Nah, all that's supposed to come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you give out money, you're supposed to get more money back.
Mhm.
All right. So it's all giving good luck to receive good luck. I hope you guys have a prosperous year. You guys have a very healthy year. Okay. I can wish you guys all these things, but remember, you have to maintain the new lifestyle and diet and everything to have this good year. Okay, so happy New Year, guys, and we'll see you on the next episode of Love and Rice. Make sure you guys follow us on all podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, TikTok, Instagram, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace. Happy New Year, snakes.